Here he is. Councilman Galvin.
Councilman, we can't hear you, Councilman Galvin. Are you muted? Councilman Galvin, can you hear me? Mayor, we're ready.
You ready? Are you be able to Councilman Galvin?
Move this way to your side. Reach his out.
Yes.
It looks like he's still connecting.
Oh,
Councilman Galvin and Councilman DeSuma, I think I hear him.
okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Okay, I see.
You gotta move it.
Take this off.
Well, anyway.
Okay, and good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. It's a special CRA meeting, and since I see everyone is available, everyone is okay, and that's it.
What was that? I'm sorry, Mayor.
I'm on TV.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. The meeting is called to order, Madam Clerk.
Board Member Desilme?
You just
Oh. Board Member Desilme?
I'm here.
Board Member Keys? Here. Board Member Estimate Irvin?
Present.
Board Member Galvin? Chairman Baname?
here.
Chairman, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much, and for the Pledge of Allegiance, let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The agenda was of one. From mind and heart, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
Which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Step number 3, approval of minutes, April 14, 2020, and May 12, 2020. Can I have a motion?
So moved. So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Unplugged.
I have a motion to approve the minutes made by Board Member Keys, seconded by Board Member Estimate Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Councilman Galvin says his internet is out.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 1.
Agenda item.
Go ahead, sorry.
Agenda item 1, resolution to approve the executive director to waive match requirements for business attraction and rehabilitation grantees that are substantially complete.
Good afternoon, Chairman and board members, Rasha Camero, Executive Director of the North Miami CRA, and Stephen Zelkowitz, Legal Counsel. Before you is a request for your review and approval of waiving the final match requirement for the grantees listed below. This will allow the grantees the flexibility to use those funds to pay their operating expenses, not need to ask the CRA for additional funds, and it will preserve the investment to date. As you recall, when we provide large grants, the rehab grant and the business attraction grant, there is a match requirement. Due to COVID-19, we are trying to find ways to mitigate loss of business and loss of our investment. So if you look at the column under the grantees, the far right is what we've paid to date to these grantees. Under 50 State Technology, we awarded $150,000. We've paid them to date $138,657. The final payment due would be $11,342, and so on and so forth down the line. So we're asking your permission to allow them to use that match to pay their operating expenses, to pay their rent, their utility bills, so they can finish up and open their business and not come to us for an additional grant support. Also, as you know, the Jumpstart grant that we offer is for businesses that have been in business in the city for 1 year. So they wouldn't even be eligible for that support because they haven't opened yet. They haven't gotten their CU and their BTR. So we're asking the board's consideration in not the grant, just their match of that amount, so they can use it to cover their operating expenses, so they won't close and they can finish up the project and open. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board member? Vice Chair Desulme, can you mute your mic, please?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any questions from the board? No? Yes, Councilman Estime. Councilman.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Rasha, I have a question for you. I know we went over the briefing. So this is their very last payment, right? For all of
them to open up.
I just wanted to clarify.
That's why I did it in red so we can see this is like their final payment for us to close them out and be able to open.
Okay. That's
Thank you. Thank you very much. And no question from the board. Madam Clerk, do you have any comment from the public?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Christopher Campos, COO of Lost City Brewing Company. Lost City Brewing Company would like to express our support for waiving the final match requirements to assist Lost City Brewing and any other eligible project with operating expenses. Due to the pandemic, businesses will have to continue incurring additional costs and reduced cash flow associated with quote-unquote takeout, delivery, and when we reach the last phase of reopening for on-site consumption, the possibility of reduced patronage and occupancy loads as we and public adjust to the quote-unquote new norm of doing business post-pandemic. As of this writing, the zoning inspection was completed on June 17th, 2020. The final mechanical inspection is scheduled for June 18, 2020. The final building inspection is scheduled for June 19, 2020. Which will presumably be at the time of this reading, we will be wrapping up our certificate of occupancy and certificate of use. After the certificate of use has been issued, North Miami Zoning will sign our 2 state applications to produce and sell beer. The state will take approximately 2 weeks to send for one final inspection and approval. After state approval, we will have met the criteria to apply for a business tax receipt, at which point we will be ready to sell our product to the public. This whole process should put us at being able to open in 3 to 5 weeks.
That's it, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor, Board Member, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. If there is no question or any comments from any board members, can I hear a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Second.
I have a
Hi,
motion
can anybody hear me? It's Councilman Galvin.
Yes, I hear you, Councilman.
Okay, I'm joining without camera, it appears. So I apologize, but I'm now on the meeting. I had internet issues.
Okay, so for the record, Board Member Galvin is present as of 1:11 p.m. I have a motion made by Board Member Keys to approve the item at tab 1, seconded by Board Member Estime Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Agenda item 2, Resolution to approve Business Flair as the technical advisor for the downtown redevelopment project.
Thank you very much, Madam CRA Director.
No, I already read them. I'm going to defer to our purchasing director, Mr. Alberto Destrade, and then afterwards I will do a little summary.
Okay. If everybody can mute the mic if they're not talking, please.
There's a requirement.
Yes. Alberto?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, board members. I don't know if you can see me.
Yes, I hear you. I see you.
Okay, for the record, once again, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you represents staff's requests for the board to exercise its authority to waive competitive bidding procedures as provided for under Section 7120B of the City Code of Ordinances, and to further authorize the CRA Executive Director and CRA Attorney to enter into an agreement with a company by the name of Business Flair LLC to provide technical consulting services for the North Miami CRA's proposed downtown redevelopment plan. Now, we prepared just a very brief presentation to provide an overview of the item. Ricardo, if you'll put that presentation on the screen. Okay. As you can see there, again, this is the purpose of this item in this contract will be for public-private partnership, which is P3, the acronym for Technical Consulting Services. Name of the firm again is Business Flair LLC. And this is a request for bid waiver by the CRA board. The next slide. As you can see there, and we've essentially just put up there Section 7120, which is what grants the board the authority to waive the bidding requirements. And essentially, I'll just read it. It says the authority of the council, city council shall award contracts as it deems necessary in the best interest of the city and may waive any conditions imposed by provisions of this code upon a 4/5 vote where it finds such waiver to be necessary in order to proceed with the issuance of a contract proposal or bid, which is in the best interest of the city. And again, as you can see there, it requires a 4/5 vote. Pursuant to the North Miami CRA bylaws, the CRA has adopted and follows the city's procurement code. As such, may be amended periodically. So this, obviously, this same section also applies for any CRA contracts and CRA business. In terms of the scope of services that will be provided by this company, by Business Flair, you have them listed there, and I'll just briefly describe them. P3 Advisory Services, and as further reflected in the report, these advisory services consist of assisting staff in the development of the necessary P3 documents, evaluation of development proposals, providing assistance during negotiation and the contracting process, and serving as the CRA's project representative liaison between selected development teams and appropriate city departments. The next item in terms of scope of services is technical support services, and Business Flair will assist staff in identifying and carrying out all the necessary due diligence tasks, such as securing appraisal surveys, environmental assessments, etc., ensuring compliance with city ordinance and statutory requirements. The next item to be provided is financial and market analysis, and Business Flair will prepare market analysis for the proposed downtown redevelopment plan, will identify grants and other outside funding opportunities, identify opportunities to offset costs associated with the undergrounding of utilities, assist with preparation of financial analysis of proposed developments, and also assist the CRA to prepare a 5-year finance plan and work with the financial advisor to develop the most accurate TIF projections. The next item on the presentation, you have the presentation back on the screen, Ricardo?
The financial advisory services?
Right.
Okay, hold on.
Mr. Mayor, it's Galvin again. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, I'm unable to join via video because apparently there are many people on the call already. So I can see everybody, but because I guess we have a lot of people tuning in, I'm unable to join via video.
Okay, can you try again? Wait, I'm going to remove our camera.
Yes.
Right.
Here it is.
Anybody see me now?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, thank you.
Ricardo, we're still in the P3 advisory services. This is the next item. This should be for the next item.
Okay, since we don't have the presentation, can what's
Well, in essence, and I'll summarize, Mr. Mayor. In essence, what staff is requesting and seeking is the board's approval of a bid waiver to enter into a contract with Business Flair to provide these technical consulting services for the proposed downtown redevelopment plan. The amount of the contract will be a not to exceed $159,800. It's for an initial 1-year term with 1-year renewal options. Also, I should mention that I believe Mr. Kevin Crowder, who's a principal with Business Flair, is on the panel in the event that the board has any questions regarding their proposal. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Director, CRA.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Destrade, for the presentation. I just wanted to circle back and brief everybody and put it into context. As you know, our CRA plan was approved in 2016 till 2044, and one of the items was redevelopment of the downtown. We are also required to build at a minimum a retail storefront with parking garage by 2024 as a benchmark with Miami-Dade County as per our interlocal. So looking at that, we are urging the board to, if you have any questions, of course, Mr. Crowder is here, but we're urging the board to review and approve it. This is similar to, we had done that, the 4/5 bid waiver to the restaurant food camp. I wanted to remind you, we did that during the Christmas holiday. This project, if we are able to get it off the ground, will not only help the CRA with its requirements, but also help the city in future new TIF, new tax revenues, because we intend to redevelop the downtown and bring in new businesses, apartments, and commercial investment into our downtown. Mr. Zupwitz,
That's it.
if you have any questions, we're here, and Mr. Crowder is on the line as well.
Thank you very much. Any questions from board members? No question from board members. Yes, Councilwoman, please.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear her.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Oh, the mute
Okay.
button. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we
Mr.
can hear
Crowder,
you, yes.
Mr. Crowder worked with us several years ago in helping us with our, CRA extension. I think he did an excellent job. I get regular emails of what he's keeping up with, so I'm in favor of hiring Mr. Crowder to help us with our P3.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Councilwoman Estime Elvin.
No,
No?
I'm in favor and I'd like to move for approval.
And Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
On this item, Chairman Biereme, we do not.
Thank you very much. And can I hear a motion to approve the
Second
item?
that. I second that.
I make the motion.
I have a motion made by Board Member Estime Irvin to approve the agenda item 2. The motion was made by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Agenda item 3, resolution to approve PFM Financials as the North Miami CRA financial advisor for the downtown redevelopment project. A resolution of the chairman and board members of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency authorizing the executive director and North Miami CRA attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC, to provide financial advisory services in an amount not to exceed $75,000, utilizing the City of Pompano Beach contract with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC per RFP E-34-17 for financial advisory services, authorizing the executive director to execute the agreement with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC, authorizing the executive director to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the agreement and providing for an effective date. Agenda item 3.
Thank you very much. I think and agenda item number 2 is like a complement of item 2. It's
Yes, sir. We'll defer to Mr. Destrade, the procurement director.
yeah, but Madam Director, and can you give us just a quick overview of what it is exactly? And if we need any question or presentation, then the purchasing director will do that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The executive director is deferred to me. PFM Financial Advisors is a nationwide firm with a local office in Coral Gables. They regularly represent local governments and agencies like our Community Redevelopment Agency in connection with borrowing money, which would either be a bond issuance or a loan. They have a contract with the City of Pompano Beach, which we are piggybacking and using that contract for our procurement purposes. I am working with PFM Financial Advisors in Hallandale Beach at the moment with their CRA. What their services generally entail is providing the financial evaluation of our TIF revenues to address how much we can borrow, how much the debt service will be on a particular borrowing. And they will also help and prepare the RFP when we go out to find a lender, because that has to be done through a competitive process. So they will do the procurement documents, and then they will also advise through the process of negotiating with that lender and having those loan documents and the resolution approved by the CRA. What we did in Hallandale Beach, just so you know, is our RFP specifically provided that the loan would only be repaid by debt service from the TIF. We specifically and expressly wanted no backup pledges by the city. I would presume that we would be doing the same thing here in North Miami, that the TIF would be the only source of debt service payments that would need to be made, and that any RFP proposal that indicated some sort of backup pledge by the city would be needed for that lender would be disqualified. And I can tell you that we got very competitive proposals in Hallandale Beach from PNC Bank and BB&T, and we're using PNC Bank. I think our interest rate is under 2%.
It's a $40 million
on a $35 million loan.
But I don't understand. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
My question, what we are approving is not the financial aspect or what type of financial we are getting. It just hired a company to for technical advice on the financial standpoint and different plans so we can choose, right?
That is correct. I mean, so the process would be assuming you all go ahead and approve this, and assuming we all go ahead and want to enter into a loan, is that you would basically, you know, go through the RFP process, have to approve an award of the contract or of the RFP to a particular bank. Then we'd have to go and negotiate with the bank, and they'd have to come back and actually approve the loan documents as well. So there's
everything also.
yeah, there's at least another 2 approvals that would have to come. All you're doing today is hiring a company basically to help you go through the process.
Thank you very much. Any question from any member of the board? Councilwoman, please.
Can't hear you.
Number one, what are we okay, so we're looking to borrow, can you hear me?
We're breaking
Can you
up.
hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Well, I'm not. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be borrowing money. What are we borrowing this money for? Is that identified?
Well, we're not borrowing money today. We're just hiring a company.
No, I know. What are we looking to borrow money for? We're going to go out and find money. What are we doing with it? Do we have a plan?
The P3 project.
The P3 project.
We're most likely going to have to pay for some infrastructure improvements. We're most likely going to have to pay for some investment into the redevelopment, the downtown redevelopment itself. As you know, we were looking to have apartments, retail, office, and a parking garage. So depending on what the developer, once we get all the assessments of the cost of such a development, we will know, and that's when PFM will be able to put it out to bid and advise you on your options to borrow. This is not he's not borrowing any money right now. He is just being hired so he can assess and research our past TIF, future TIF, our financial statements, all that, so he can tell us where we are now and how healthy we are and what we can borrow. And he will come to you and give you your options, whether it's a loan that was done in the past with the CRA or a bond. So, and he will come to you and you will decide whether you want to go one way or the other, and so on and so forth. But those are all steps that we need to take to get us to the redevelopment. Any developer we work with or we talk to, at this point, time is money. They've lost a lot of time. Everybody's lost a lot of time because of COVID-19. They want to see that we're ready. They want to see that we've done our due diligence and that we do have, our assets and our toolbox ready for any form of negotiation. So that's pretty much.
I'll just put on the record that I will not be in favor of spending $75,000 to hire a consultant to find us money to borrow, because I'm also not in the mood to be wanting to borrow any money right now, even if it's only pledging our.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Keys. But Councilwoman Keys, you just voted for the P3 project. You just voted for the company as a technical advisor. But if they're going to make proposal on what type of project we need in the downtown, but at the same time, we need a financial advisor to give us all the options, and so we can pick or decide whether or not we're going to move forward.
I thought that's part of the P3. We've got the land, and we may need some money, which we do have TIF money for, but the developer is supposed to come in and be our partner, and they're supposed to pay for the development. We provide the land. So
I understand that, but at the same time, since we're not a financial expert, we need a financial advisor to bring all the numbers on the table and advise us. That's what that company is going to do. Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any other question from any board member?
No motion to approve.
I'll second that. Madam Clerk?
I have a motion made by Board Member Estime Irvin to approve the item, agenda item 3, The motion was seconded by Chairman Bieneme. All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Item passes with a 4-1 vote.
Thank you very much. Do we have any report from the CRA attorney?
No reports, sir.
Executive Director, any report?
No, just briefly that we are still processing rental assistance applications. As you know, the lottery happened and we're processing those applications. The Jumpstart grant expires. The last date to apply is June 30th, which is the same deadline as the PPP, the SBA, and the EIDL grant. And then after that, we will come back to you, because we did, before COVID, we did receive several grant applications for rehabilitation and business attraction. So we're going to get back to normal once we pass the rental and the Jumpstart emergency relief process.
But Madam Director, you know, after the Jumpstart and the renters program, you need to focus on that P3 project, because one of the things that we have to look at right now, it's increase our tax revenue.
Yeah. Yes. And I have to say, I am very grateful to the board for hiring Mr. Kevin Crowder to help me get to that point, and to get us, you know, to North Miami, the state of North Miami and North Miami CRA on the limelight in a positive in a new downtown. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, do we have any comments from the public?
No, we do not, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Old business, new business. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much. You are
Second.
to
So I have a motion to adjourn made by Board Member Galvin, seconded by Estimate Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? All right, adjourned as of 1:34.
Thank you very much. See you at 2, guys.